All right. Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. If you guys can hear me, if I'm audible, just raise your hand, just type hi in the public chat. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation, Avani. All right. So we're going to start with this live session in like a minute. Let everyone join in first. There are a couple of students who would be joining in. We'll wait for them and then we'll start the session today. So today's session is going to be quite interesting. All those who have already joined in, what I want all of you to do is keep a pen and paper handy, okay? Because I'll be giving you some very interesting tips to improve your vocabulary. Hi, Mitali. Hope you're doing fine. Okay. So, yeah, just be ready with your pencils, pens, and papers. I'll be giving you a lot of tips today. All right. So let's start with today's session now. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rahil Zafar, and I have been training students on IELTS for almost 6 years now. In today's session, I'll be talking about how to improve your vocabulary. So I'll be sharing some tips with you, and we'll start with the first one without wasting any further time. So the first thing that you're supposed to do is you. This is going to sound cliche, but this is absolutely necessary, guys. So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to get a dictionary for yourself, and this is not going to be a normal dictionary. What I want you to do is I want you to get an idiom dictionary, a dictionary that teaches you, where you can learn a lot of idioms because idioms play an important role in your IELTS speaking test, right? Overall, if you want to improve your vocabulary, then again, idioms are like it's a nice way to use idioms while you're having a conversation with someone, right? So idioms are basically sentences and phrases that you don't take them literally. You don't go by the literal meaning of these sentences and phrases, right? So you will have to start memorizing certain idioms. You will have to start memorizing some good idioms so that you can use them in your conversation while you're talking to the examiner. Okay. So make sure you get that dictionary. And if you're not able to get that dictionary, there are various resources available on the net, on the internet. You can download certain PDFs where you can find out where you can find out a lot of idioms given to you. Okay. So maybe you can start learning 5 idioms every day from that dictionary or from that PDF. Start writing 5 idioms every day in a particular diary, okay, or in your registers wherever you start. Like if you study using registers, you use notepads or you make notes on your computer or your laptop. Just write down 5 idioms over there and start using them in your day-to-day life. Okay. Now, the next and the most important thing for improving your vocabulary, I would suggest you to start reading newspapers, start reading various resources from newspapers to magazines. All you have to do is dedicate 10 minutes of reading whatever newspaper you get at your home, and start making notes of some new vocabulary that you come across. Okay. Now, this is important because in newspapers and magazines, you come across various disciplines. You're not limited to a particular topic. You get a lot of topics in the newspaper. It has topics related to sports. It has topics related to economics. Like a lot of things are given in the newspaper. So you can dedicate at least 10 minutes, like throughout the day, you can pick out 10 minutes, read the newspaper extensively, and find out words that are new to you. And you can write them down on a piece of paper. Or maybe wherever you prepare notes, wherever you take notes, you can do that, right? That's the second tip. This is going to be particularly helpful for all the students who are preparing for their IELTS exam. In case you have a month to prepare for this test, then this is a wonderful activity that you can do for the next 30 days. Okay. Moving on to the third tip. Now, this tip is where I would ask you to start learning some synonyms of commonly used words. I'll give you an example. Let's say there's this word amazing. Now I've seen a lot of students use this word in every situation. How was the weather? Sir, it was amazing, sir. How was the ride? Oh, sir, the ride was amazing. How's the food? It was amazing, sir. Now I need you to find out a synonym for this word, amazing. Don't use this word in every context. Although it's not incorrect, it's important to understand when you use synonyms for a particular word, there are chances you're going to, you're definitely going to get good marks if you use synonyms. So instead of saying amazing, you can say it was mesmerizing. It was for food. If you want to say, you can say it was delicious. It was lip smacking, right? It was mind boggling. For other things, you can describe. Use these words to describe certain things. So make a list of commonly used words. Pick up a paper like an A4 size sheet today itself after the session is over. Write down five commonly used words. Five words that you use in almost every situation. I've given you an example. Amazing. I've seen a lot of students also say very nice. It was nice. So write down these commonly used words and find at least five synonyms of these words and write them in front of the commonly used words. Now try to incorporate these synonyms in your day-to-day life. If you're having a conversation with your teacher, or let's say you're having a conversation with your friend, try to incorporate these synonyms with your best friends while having a conversation. That's actually another way of improving your vocabulary. Okay, are we clear with these three tips right now? Have you understood these three tips? Let me know in the chat box if it is clear. Just type yes if it's clear, and in case you have any doubts, do let me know. Okay, what about the rest of you? All right, I'm assuming that everything's clear till now. So let's move on to the next tip to help you improve your vocabulary. Okay. So Yash, just go for a short recap. Okay, so right, I'll quickly do that. So there are three tips that I gave right now. So the first one was to get a dictionary, specially made for idioms. So you need to start memorizing certain idioms. Okay. You can also get a lot of resources available on the internet if you can't find a dictionary for idiom. So go for those PDFs and start memorizing 5 or 10 idioms every day. Try to incorporate them in your daily day-to-day life conversations. Okay. The second tip was to read from various resources like from newspapers to magazines. And the third tip was to find out these synonyms of commonly used words, the ones that I was discussing right now. Okay. Right. Let's move on to the fourth tip, which is where I would ask you to use more collocations and start learning what are these collocations. I'm pretty sure you all use collocations in your daily lives, but you would not know. Some people would might not know what are collocations. So I'll give you an example. Now, collocations. Let me first explain what are these. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a jargon for some of you. So collocations are words that are used together, like a group of words or maybe two words which are used together. When you separate them, these two words have different meanings altogether. For example, social media. Now, if I say social and I say media separately, these two things have different meanings. But when I club them together, I say it like I use a lot of social media, right? So I'm using a collocation, social media. Similarly, social as a word can be used with another word as well, which becomes another collocation. Social gathering, social social service, right? There are many things that you can come up with. There are other collocations as well. For example, take a break. You can also say I'm going to take a nap, right? So take a nap is another collocation. Now we use these collocations, but when you know that the examiner is particularly going to give you good marks if you use more collocations and you use them appropriately, why not start memorizing them? Okay. So for this also, you can actually refer to the PDFs available on the net. But there are certain good books available in the market. One is from Oxford. There's this book, Collocation. You can purchase that and you can start memorizing some collocations. And it's not just going to be helpful for you for your IELTS exam. In your in your personal and your professional life, it is going to have a lot of impact on your conversational skills, right? So you can maybe purchase this. This is going to be like a good investment for all of you. So start memorizing some collocations as well. This was my fourth tip for all of you. Coming on to the next tip, I want you to start watching some videos, particularly go onto these platforms, Netflix and maybe Amazon Prime, and pick up these interesting, you know, web series. I personally watch Young Sheldon. I've learned a lot of things from this web series, not just how to be good at having conversations with people. I've had a lot of new words. I picked up really good words from this web series. So when I watch any series, what I do, I don't do it every time, but yes, sometimes I do keep a pencil and a paper with me and I make notes, right? So when I'm watching it for the purpose of learning something, I keep a pencil and a paper. But if I'm binge watching, I don't do anything like keeping a pen and paper handy. I don't do that. But if I'm learning something, I will definitely keep a pencil and a paper. I write down some new words that the person, the characters use, or I sometimes also turn on the subtitles. It's difficult to catch their accent sometimes, so I turn on the subtitles and I make notes. This is what I would recommend you to do as well. This is like a nice activity and you'll enjoy doing it. Trust me, you will be able to speak like them because not just one skill is involved. You're watching something, you're making notes. So all your motor skills are involved here, right? So please make sure you do this activity. This is also going to help you improve your vocabulary. Okay. Mitali wants me to repeat tip four. Right. So, tip four was to use collocations, Mitali. What I want you to do is you can go and search on the net what are collocations. I gave you gave you a couple of examples. You can you can start memorizing some collocations, and you can purchase a book which is from the Oxford. I'll type the name of the book, the exact book, in the chat box like later. Okay. Otherwise, you can find some resources on this thing on the internet. They will help you out with some collocations. These are some free resources, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be helpful for you. Okay. All right. And the fifth tip was to basically do what? Do watch these web series. This Young Sheldon, I would recommend this. Then you can also watch The Big Bang Theory. That's also a nice series. You'll get to learn some interesting vocab from there as well. All right. Okay. Any doubts, anyone till now? Anything that you would like to ask before we move to the next part? Okay. What about the rest of you? All good to go? Let's move to the next. Yeah, I'll type all these things in the comment section. You can later watch these, go through the comment section. Okay. All right. Let's move to the next tip, which is very interesting. So, what I would want you to do is, I want you to watch a couple of videos that have been uploaded on YouTube, right? This is another way of improving your vocabulary. Now, when you watch these videos on YouTube, now what kind of videos are you supposed to watch? See, if you're preparing specifically for IELTS, you want to clear your IELTS exam, you registered for the test, and you want to prepare for that test, right? So go through some videos where you can watch other people giving a mock test. Okay. Or you can also watch these videos where a person is taking the test, the examiner is giving the examiner is taking the test and the person is responding to the questions, right? So there are a lot of mock tests available, speaking mock tests available on YouTube. We also have a dedicated channel, our YouTube channel, where you are live right now. You can watch a lot of videos that we have uploaded. So you'll get to know how the test is conducted, what kind of questions are asked, and how are we supposed to respond to these questions, what kind of vocabulary will fetch me good marks if I'm taking this test, right? Idioms are particularly important. Using collocations is important, right? Having fluency and pronouncing each and every word, having clarity in your speech is important. So how do we get to know all these things? By watching videos. So you can watch a lot of videos on our YouTube channel. We've uploaded quite a lot of videos. You can go through those videos one by one whenever you get time. You don't have to do everything in one day. Pick up one video, do an analysis. Okay, how was the speaker talking? Like, what kind of words did he or she use? Right? And are there any words that I can use in my speaking test? So I'm going to make a note of those things. All right. This is another way of improving your vocabulary, right? So yeah, I was suggesting. So Mitali is asking which series. You can watch The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon. These are two series that you can watch. I'll leave these comments. I mean, I'll drop down these names in the comment section later. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next tip. Right. So, how many of you, have the habit of making notes or writing down new words that you come across? Are there any people over here who make notes? Just raise your hand or just type yes in the public chat. Do you have that habit? Okay. All right. So the next tip is actually regarding that. Now, what I want all of you to do is, okay, all right, Suyash, you're right. Thank you. Now, so moving on to the next tip, what I want all of you to do is, whenever you come across a new word, you first of all write it down in your registers, okay, or wherever you make notes, you write that word down. Now, you need to understand the usage of that word. If that word is new to you, first of all, understand the usage, the meaning of that word, and how to use it in a sentence, because different words can be used in different sentences, and these words can have different meanings also if they are used in different sentence structures. So first of all, try to understand the meaning, try to understand the usage, like in what context are you supposed to use that word in, right? And if that word is a little lengthy and you're not able to memorize it, I'll give you a tip for that towards the end, right? But the first thing is that you need to know the spelling of that word. You spell it out correctly. You write down the correct spelling of that word on your, like in your registers, okay? And then try to understand the meaning, try to understand the context, how to use that word in a sentence, and are there any other usage of this word or no? So maybe this is going to help you out in memorizing that word easily. Try to, I mean, maybe you can do this. You can force yourself to use these words while having a conversation with your friends, with your family members, with your partners, or with your colleagues. You can do that as well, right? But this is an important thing to be done. Okay. My last and my final tip would be, this is like a bonus tip for all of you. And it is going to be very helpful for all of you. I'm pretty sure about it, because this will help you memorize these words easily. Okay. So at times we come across certain words which are, difficult to spell, which are difficult to pronounce. Okay. I'll take up some examples in a minute. So what do we do about it? Now, these words can be broken into small parts. You break these words into small parts and then you start memorizing them. This activity wouldn't take more than a minute for you to do. Okay. If you're doing it individually, it won't take more than a minute. Okay. So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to break that word into small parts and then you're supposed to memorize it. Okay. Now, nobody would, I mean, there are people who, get difficulty in pronouncing words which are particularly lengthy, which have a lot of letters, and they're difficult to pronounce. So in that case, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to particularly break them into different, like smaller parts, and then club them together. Okay. For example, like this is a word. I used this word as like in one of my classes, just as an activity to tell them how to memorize a lengthy word in like in like 2 minutes. Okay. So the word is pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. This is actually a disease, right? And if I want to learn this word, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this word down into smaller parts. There's another word I can pick up, that is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It is actually a synonym of amazing. So, how was I able to learn this word within 2 minutes? And how are my students able to learn these kinds of words within 2 minutes? Is by this small activity. All you have to do is break this lengthy word into small parts and then you club them together. Okay, I'm going to type it out for all of you here. 1 second. So that you guys can follow easily. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Here you go, guys. Check your chat box, please. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it into small parts. The first one was be super. I can pronounce that easily. Then I am going to pronounce Cali, and then I'm going to club it together. Super Cali, super Cali, right? The next word from that lengthy word would be fragilistic. Okay. Now I am going to try and combine these three, small parts together. Super Cali fragilistic. Supercalifragilistic. You guys can keep talking if you guys are participating. It's very nice. Okay, so yeah, these are three small parts right now. What would be this fourth part? This is going to be expiali, and then the last part is docious. Now the last word is basically not pronounced as docious. You can check it on Google also. It is docious. It's important to understand the pronunciation as well, and Google is one of the best ways to check your pronunciation, check pronunciation of different words. All right. So super, cali, fragilistic, expiali, docious. Now try and join, try to combine these all five parts together and start speaking. Maybe you can stand in front of the mirror after the session is over, right? And then you'll be able to pronounce this word easily. Why did I pick up this word? Because this is one of the lengthiest words in English language. There is another one I told you, which is a disease, right? So if you can learn these words in under 2 minutes, I'm pretty sure you can learn any word in under 2 minutes. Then you can easily pronounce that word if you use this activity. Okay, if you do this activity. All right. Are we clear with this, guys? Any doubts over here up until now? Anything that you would like to ask? Please let me know in the chat box. Perfect. All right. I have a quick question. How many of you are preparing for IELTS exam? Do we have any students who are preparing for this test? Just type yes in the public chat. Very good. Okay. All right. Perfect. Great then. So in case you need any kind of professional guidance, you can get in touch with us. We do provide IELTS training, and we do have some demo sessions lined up. So in case you want to, join our sessions, you can do that as well. Oh, so you've already taken the test. Very nice, Suyash. That's nice. Cool. I hope this session was helpful for all of you and you were able to make notes. You did get some good inputs from my side today. In case you have any questions, please let me know. I would be happy to help you out here right now. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. I wish you all the best, Suyash. And you can always come back to our YouTube channel to watch more videos, and you can also watch the same thing. Like this is going to be a recorded thing now. Once I end the sessions, you can come back to this and watch this video later. Sure. I mean, weak in English speaking. So speaking, I would recommend, Mitali, I would recommend you to get in touch with people where you can actually, create an environment around yourself where people use, where people will actually talk to you in English. So create that environment around yourself. Join some speaking clubs. There are various speaking clubs available, so you can do that as well. Okay. And I would also recommend you to do this activity. You can stand in front of the mirror and start talking to yourself. That also helps a lot. Great orators do this. Even trainers do this activity. They stand in front of the mirror. They start talking to themselves. They give themselves, certain parameters. They check themselves. Okay, self evaluation is also important. Sure, Suyash. I'll quickly explain you what's the speaking test pattern. There are basically three parts to the speaking test. Part one is general introduction, where the examiner will ask you some questions about you. For example, they can ask you questions about your study, your work, your profession, basically. Then they'll come up with certain, general topics like food, festivals, shopping. They can ask you questions about, traveling, right? So these are going to be normal questions. You would easily be able to answer these questions. Once they move from part one to part two, the level of difficulty would increase. This is where they're going to give you a piece of paper that's known as a cue card. You'll be given a topic written on that, and you have to speak on the topic for 2 minutes. You will also get 1 minute to prepare notes on it. Okay. Once this is over, part three is known as topic discussion. So whatever topic you're going to get in that cue card in part two, they'll ask you more abstract questions in part three about the same topic, right? These questions will encourage you to express your thoughts and your feelings more. Okay. So that's the pattern. It's your test will get over in like 14 minutes, maximum 14 minutes. And it's always a face-to-face interaction with the examiner, Suyash. Sunil, you can get in touch with us. You can go onto our website, and I'll also share our team's number in the comment section. You can call us on that number as well. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ayuba. Suyash, I hope it was clear. Any other doubts, guys? Anything else that you'd like to ask? All those people who are preparing for the test, I wish you all the best. Make sure you practice well in advance, and yeah, don't leave any stone unturned. Go through all the tips and tricks as many times as possible. Okay. There are different strategies to prepare notes, Mitali. It's going to be a detailed lecture. So in case you want some assistance in how to prepare notes, I would recommend you to get in touch with us. You can get in touch with us using that phone number that I'm going to leave in the comment section. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. It was nice interacting with all of you. I hope I was able to help you out with these tips. Do let us know in the comment section. And yeah, all the best. Once again, I'm going to end this session now. Thank you very much for participating. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Have a nice evening.